The Seatown of Lossiemouth is a small enclave of houses built in the 1820s and 30s to replace the fishing industry which had been lost with the disaster of Christmas Day 1806. It's built at a little triangle of land between the river and the two mouths of the spiny drainage canal. And during the war, planes flew over there with great regularity on what we used to call circuits and bumps, training circuits where they learned to take off and to land. And every day we had the Wellingtons flying over Seatown. On the night of the 27th, Tuesday the 27th of February 1945, one particular plane took off, LN 557, took off on a training run, and because it was on a training run it had an extra couple of people aboard, 7 of crew instead of the usual 5 or 6, and it flew round the town. Unfortunately started to lose power from the engines. It circled trying to find somewhere to land, and finally crashed on a piece of ground in the Seatown. There's a piece of ground you see now where the shed on the left of the picture used to be 3 separate wooden sheds. The plane came in and crashed just roughly where the car in the centre of the picture is. Sadly, the crew of 7, 6 of them died and 1 of them escaped. It was thought at the time that they had tried to keep away from the houses in order to be safe for those on the ground. Didn't work, and only the rear gunner escaped, presumably thrown clear. So the plane crashed roughly on this concrete slab and went on fire, of course, because the wings were full of fuel. The occupant of the house, George Stewart Doddy, and his family were trapped in the house by this fire. He had rushed to the door to see what had happened, grabbed his niece who was staying with him, and in his care opened the door to find that he was facing a wall of flames from the burning plane, and flames swept past him into the house. He slammed the door shut, ran through the house to go into the back, smashed the window in the back bedroom, and he and his 4 children and his niece escaped to safety. Less easy in terms of escape was his wife, who was a substantial lady and had to be pushed through the window from behind. So there's the window, quite a small area to escape from. Interestingly, the next 2 houses in the row did not have any means of escape at the back, so that if the plane had come down a few yards short of where it had landed, that would have been very, very difficult for the people in those houses. 6 of the crew died. 3 of them are buried in the cemetery in Lossie. Warrant Officer Fielder, who was 29, Sergeant Pardo, the wireless operator air gunner, who was 29, and Pilot Officer Tatum, who was 25. We don't know whether he was actually piloting the plane at the time. There may well have been another pilot. The only member of the crew to survive was the rear gunner, Sergeant Ormond. I find it hard to believe that we got away so lightly. If the plane had crashed a second earlier, gone to the left or gone to the right, it would have taken dozens of people with it. During the war we had many crashes. There were 385 RAF personnel killed in training flights during the war in RAF Lossie, before the RAF left in July 1945.